We start with Republican obstruction again today. Republican Senator Jon Kyle of Arizona announces plans to block a vote on ratifying a new arms treaty, a nuclear arms treaty with Russia. The treaty would allow us to not only reduce our nuclear stockpile, but reduce their nuclear stockpile and check in on their program. Kyle is the chief GOP negotiator, and he says that Congress is just too busy to deal with a new START treaty during the lame duck session. That's, of course, not true. The reality is that the Republicans will have 6 more senators when they take this up next year. The White House is reportedly shocked and angry about the move, but tells the New York Times it will keep pushing for approval of the treaty. They'd probably like to talk to Republicans about it, but GOP, quote, scheduling conflicts caused the meeting set for Thursday to be postponed until after Thanksgiving. The idea of scheduling conflicts, of course, is also not true. Does anyone really believe that they had a scheduling conflict more important than a White House meeting with the president? Or they were too busy to approve a treaty signed to secure weapons of mass destruction and enhance America's national security? President Obama, how's that bipartisanship thing working out for you? It appears to me not too good. All right, let's bring in NBC's Mike Viqueira. He's live at the White House. Mike, look, as you can tell from my intro, I'm not buying it from the Republicans.
I gather.
Right. So let's talk about why they might have delayed the START treaty. Is it to get bigger numbers so they can negotiate better next year? Or do they just not want to do it? And why wouldn't they want to do it?
There are billions on the table that the White House has said that they will devote towards modernizing the remaining nuclear stockpile. And apparently Jon Kyle feels that he wants to look at it longer. Jon Kyle, the influential member on these kinds of issues, that a lot of the Republicans are looking to for leadership here. You know what was interesting today, Cenk, is notwithstanding Jon Kyle and the influence he has among conservatives in the Senate, who now, you're right, have only 41 members at this moment. Come January 5th, they'll have many more. Democrats obviously going to be down from 59 to 53, so the margins will be narrowed. But the White House insisting today that all is not lost, quite the opposite. A full measure of confidence. Robert Gibbs says that they have the votes. It will come up this year, and it's going to pass this year. Another influential voice, been around for a while on foreign policy issues, been the chairman and ranking member of the Foreign Relations Committee in the Senate, Richard Lugar of Indiana, is very frustrated. He wants to see this thing pass. But the problem is, Cenk, I told you the numbers the way they stand right now. To ratify a treaty in the U.S. Senate, everybody knows, who's been through Schoolhouse Rock, takes 2/3 of the Senate. That's 67 votes. So a lot of people today are questioning where that confidence that Robert Gibbs expressed today is coming from. So very much up in the air at this point, Cenk.
Well, you know, that's interesting and good news, because that means the White House is going to push forward on this regardless. I think if they take the vote, they might win it. I don't think that confidence is misplaced. And Lugar's always been right on this issue. And the fact that he's on their side, it could help with some. If there are any moderate Republicans left, it could help with them. But let's go to the second issue there, Mike, that they're not going to show up for a meeting. Look, if you ask me, it looks like a slap in the face, right? Now, but the real question for you, Mike, is you're at the White House. How is the White House perceiving it? Is there any chance that they'll say, well, look, if you're going to pull that kind of maneuver, well, we're not even, okay, then I don't even want to meet with you after Thanksgiving?
Well, if it is a slap in the face, and I'm not stipulating to your premise, but if it is, then the White House today is trying to put the best face on it. They say, look, this is a bipartisan deal. We've agreed to move the meeting. Only half in jest. It's now going to take place after Thanksgiving on November 30th. Look, Republicans had said that they were never consulted, and that when they tried to get back to the White House was out of pocket for 10 days on their Asia trip. That in and itself might be hard to imagine. The White House may not have gotten back to them, but the president did mention it several times, including on that Asia trip, that he was going to have the Republican leaders, House, Senate, Democrat, and Republican, here tomorrow night. They were going to meet in the West Wing, presumably, and then head upstairs to the residence for dinner. And at that point, they were going to try to hash out some of these issues, these big issues like START, but probably more prominently the tax cut and whether that's going to be extended to the wealthy and on what basis, temporary or permanent. That was what was expected to be hashed out at this meeting. Now, it's true that there have been some moderately mixed signals from Republicans on which way they want to go on that so-called compromise. A lot of people are very upset that the White House would even consider it. But Jim DeMint, a Tea Party leader, the Republican from South Carolina, himself off an overwhelming re-election a couple of Tuesdays ago, said that he signaled on Sunday that they could go along with the president's idea, or at least it's been signaled from the White House, that they would go along with a temporary extension. On the House side, they're somewhat drawing a harder line, saying they're holding out for a permanent extension, but nobody really expects, if it were put on the floor of the House and the Senate, that it wouldn't pass with a temporary extension. So, bottom line here, Congress goes away next week for Thanksgiving. When they come back, then they'll have their meeting, Cenk.
All right. I know that if I invite a girl to dinner and she says she can't show up, that means she's not really that into me. But that could just be me.
Darning her socks, washing her hair. All right.
All right. NBC's Mike Viqueira live at the White House. Thank you so much.